Now, here's a question that I said I'd ask in the beginning that I make sure I don't forget. I did a video on the Lancet piece, I don't know if it was a week or two ago, saying, hey, the study came out. This is what it showed. Here are the flaws. So it just, just here's the information. You didn't see that video, did you?
I actually did. So I'm a follower. I watch you. Come on. So
I love the nerds watch me. And by
yeah.
nerds, that's the highest compliment I can give because I'm the biggest nerd in the world. So wait, so Adrian, you saw the video. I need your honest feedback on that video. Did I jump the gun? Did I say something wrong? What can I do better to communicate that? Do I need to do a follow-up beyond this?
Yeah. So, it's actually interesting. So most people did the same thing. You look at the main paper and that's what you judge it on. But it's when you get to the other parts of it, actually the appendix, that's where people really picked up like, hey, this does not make sense. The same thing for the New England Journal paper. It was the appendix that really like showed things. And so that's where like we depend on editors, the peer review, bring out these issues here. And there are a lot of other people, well known, almost as well known as you, that had the same problem. Dr. Topol, same thing. So, but again,
Eric,
yeah. So
I'm in
like, I
good
mean,
company then. Yeah.
yeah. So again, like, just thinking like, when people take a first glance and you have trust in the system, that's going to be what happens. And, 90%, 99%, that's right. But there are, these cases, this one's extreme, that where there was, really bad science.
I've learned a lot during this pandemic, and it started in the beginning when I really took what the WHO and the CDC were saying quite literally early on, and I was burned so badly and was talking publicly, guys, calm down, everybody calm down, which calming down is always a good idea. Being prepared is always a good idea, but I was really led down a path that was not correct because I don't have the primary data and I didn't have the ability. I was talking to people on the inside, but they don't have that ability either. And we're blind on so many levels. And with this Lancet thing, it's an interesting thing because I think it's important. What you said is important to trust people who it's their job to actually review those things, but then hold them accountable when it screws up. What you guys did was you said, this isn't right. You looked at the details of the paper because it's your space and said, no, we have questions that need answering before we can trust this data. Now, here's a question. How much of our science that isn't done under pressure, that isn't getting the scrutiny that this study is getting, is done badly this way, do you think? Or fraudulently, even worse?
Well, bad science, there's definitely several percent that happens. Fraudulent, I think it's actually rare. I mean, but it does
Mm.
happen. So there is an organization that's always watching for this in terms of retractions every year. So you may know about them, and they do a great job keeping track of these things. But this is why it is a community of scientists and researchers that have to pay attention to it and always just have a little ounce of skepticism.
Yeah.
My biggest lessons early on was mentor said like prove it and reprove it. And so making sure that like, each step you question yourself and you actually question others. And that's a good scientific process. Make sure to not take anything for granted.
Yeah, I think I quoted this the other day, Richard Feynman saying, you got to make sure you're not fooling yourself because you're the easiest person to fool because you have all your biases. You want to believe them. You want to go
Yeah,
down that
that's right.
route.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
because, I'm usually, no, I am always right, but I have to question that. So I need to make sure that, I question it before someone else does, and that'll be healthier.
Yeah, yeah. I've had to evolve my own thinking to actually get joy when I'm wrong, to be shown wrong, because it shows that then I'm going to learn something from that. Because being right is like something that you get a little burst of dopamine when you're right. At least a lot of people do. But
Yeah,
had to recondition myself to get a burst of dopamine when I have to apologize, when I've gotten something wrong. I'm like, oh, okay, this
yeah,
is an opportunity to actually be a human being. And it's hard because it hurts.
that's
It's
right.
like a mix of dopamine. It's like sadomasochism, like that kind of dopamine. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
hurts so good. I want more of it. So that all being said, are there any other parting words you want to lend to our audience? I'm going to put all the links and everything in the show notes.
Hey, thanks for joining. We want to hear from you, and then we're gonna, do our very best to honor what you do.
I believe him, guys.